In this video, I'm going to show you how to make your logo bigger on your Squarespace website. And I'm going to also share some cautionary tales. Before we dive in, I'm Christy Price. I'm a Squarespace expert and educator. If you haven't grabbed my Squarespace pre-launch checklist yet, grab it. I'll put a link below. It's not just a checklist, it has videos for everything that you need to do when you're setting up your Squarespace website. All right, I am here in my Sway Squarespace template that I sell for service providers. And yeah, this is one of those times where that logo is really tiny. You do need to make it bigger. I'm going to share a couple of other tips at the end, how to adjust it on mobile, and then talk a little bit about why you might not want to make your logo bigger. But obviously here, yes, it needs to be bigger. The first thing that I want to show you when I click edit here and edit site header is that you can see there's a lot of space around this image. So what happened was in Canva, I downloaded this, which is one of their logo templates, really great. But you can see it downloaded it with all this extra space around it. So you're never going to get the sizing you want. So what you need to do is either download it like this, so there's not all this extra space around your logo, or you can crop it after you've downloaded it to your computer and before you add it to Squarespace. So the first thing that I want to do is replace this with an appropriate sized image file without all of that empty space around it. All right, you can see it's looking a little bigger, but yeah, it's still too small. So if you're hopping in and you're like, yeah, I've got the right logo file there, it doesn't have all that space around it, I still want it to be bigger, you'll click edit in the upper left, roll over your header, click edit site header, then you're going to come over here and click on site title and logo, click the pencil icon. Okay, now we're ready to adjust the height of this logo. And you'll notice there is a separate adjustment for mobile. So stick around. I'm going to show you how to do that too. It's important that you check it there because so much traffic comes from mobile devices today. But for the desktop view, we are going to just slide this until it looks about right. And I think for this particular logo, this looks like the right size. Now, if you had a designer work on your site and you're like, they didn't make the logo big enough, one thing that I found is that sometimes non-designers will want to make this massive. And I think there are some reasons for this, probably because there aren't a lot of brand elements or colors or fonts continuing through your website. So this is kind of the only thing that feels like you on your website. And if that's the case, I would encourage you to create a full brand instead of just a logo. I'll drop a link to a blog post below on how to do that. But this feels overwhelming. And honestly, once people have clicked to your site, you're going to have this logo front and center or front and left, as is the case here. And they're going to understand that that's your logo and your branding. So for this one, I would not personally, as a designer, put this any higher than 130. That seems like the maximum. And honestly, I feel like something closer to 100 to 110 feels better to me and more balanced. Now, again, you're going to want to take into account the rest of your site. If your site is one of those large format, very on trend sites where it's huge fonts, huge images, you may want to make this a little larger to compensate. But overall, just kind of back out of it. Does it feel balanced? When someone lands on your website, we want the first thing they notice to be your logo. So it's typically upper left. Then their eyes are going to sweep across to the right and then down in a Z pattern. That's typically the eye movement we see when somebody lands on a website. So that's why we very often put a button over here on the right. So your eyes sweep across, logo, button, main content can be centered or on the right here. So typically when we design, that's one thing that we're keeping in mind, but also just make sure it feels balanced with the rest of your design. Okay, let's go ahead and hop into mobile view, and I'm going to show you how to adjust the logo size there. If you click on this phone icon in the upper right, it's going to switch you to mobile view. And you can see here, yeah, the logo's obviously too small here. So what we're going to do is that same process, edit site header, click on site title and logo. You'll notice our pencil icon is over on the right now, but now we can go down and mobile logo max height. We're going to make that larger until it feels balanced to us. And for me, for this design, 60 feels about right because I don't want to push all of this way far down on the phone. That feels good to me. I'm going to go ahead and click save and exit. So again, double check your logo size on both desktop and mobile view. Think about how it's playing with the design of your site overall. Try to resist the urge to make your logo massive. Make sure it feels balanced with your site design. And before you go, drop a comment below and let me know, do you have a logo or do you have a logo and a color palette or maybe a logo and a color palette and brand guidelines and brand elements? I'd love to know what your branding is like. So drop a comment below, let me know, and be sure and check out those links for the pre-launch checklist and how to create a full brand for your business. Thanks so much for watching, and I wish you all the best for your website.